Hey everybody, I'm Josh Rohr, the meet director for the 2013 Georgia and Southern States. I just want to kind of go over a few of the rules that are often forgotten or people I guess don't know. Typically we'll do a rules briefing after weigh-ins before you start lifting, but because of the number of lifters, we do have right around 150. We're not going to really take the time to do a detailed rules briefing, so we're going to go over most of the things on this video. There will be a quick Q&A, like if you do have a last minute question that we can ask and get answered, but try to make sure you look at the rule book and know the rules coming in. The rule book can be found on usapowerlifting.com. Click on About Us and then download the rules. First of all, a couple things I just want to touch on. Side note, the admission fee for non-participants and non-sponsors and volunteers. So anybody that's a coach, anybody that's just coming to watch, the admission fee is $10 and that covers the whole day. That money, 100% of that money goes to the Meadow Creek wrestling team, which they're allowing us to use the facility, and it's kind of a way for them to fundraise. So, definitely support them. One thing I also want to mention, I sent an email a while ago. I don't know if you guys read it. Probably not. Anyway, the UGA team, Club Powerlifting at UGA, is doing a canned food drive. So if you can bring any canned foods that you have that you're willing to donate, it goes to a good cause. That's also, details of that are in the email that I sent previously. But anyway, getting to it, your weigh-in time it's all on the schedule, but if you're in the morning session, the weigh-ins begin at 7 a.m. But the weigh-in order is done by lot number, and you've been assigned a lot number. If you look at the roster, it's on the website as well. So if you're lot number 4, 5, whatever, you're going to be weighed in right away. If you're lot number 40, 50, you'll be at the end of the line. But the thing to remember is if you miss your spot in line, you get put at the end. So if you are trying to make weight and you're at weight, you want to get weight in so you can eat, make sure you're there, because we're not going to wait for you. If you're not there, we're moving on and you go to the end of the line. That's the only way to get that many people done efficiently. And my staff and I have been over this quite a few times. So if you have a problem with that, you can talk to me about it. In terms of things you need before you're allowed to weigh in, we're going to have some people assisting in getting your rack heights. So you'll get to get under the bar, get the rack where you want it, and write that down. I made somewhere. All right, as you check in at the front door, the lifters will get one of these. Basically, this is not official. It doesn't do anything. All it does is help you get organized. This is the information that you have to have in order to weigh in. Your opening attempts in kilos, your rack heights, and you also need your photo ID. If you don't have any of that, you get sent to the end of the line. So make sure you come organized and prepared. But like I was saying, we'll have somebody to help you get your rack heights. Again, that has to be done before you weigh in. So do that. Get there early to do that. And also your opening attempts. Have those either in your head or written on this piece of paper that I just showed you. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just know them and have them ready, because it's going to move pretty quick. Just to get that part of the meet done and staying organized. Once you initially check in, you'll get a wristband at the front door and you'll get that piece of paper I mentioned. From there, you'll go over to the equipment check table or the rack heights. It depends on what you want to do. Just make sure that the weigh-in, or keep in mind the weigh-in order trumps everything else. So if you're getting ready to do equipment check, that can be done after weigh-ins, but so it depends on where you're at in the lot number. I mean, that's for you to decide, but make sure you get your rack heights and have your opening attempts before you weigh in. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, enough on that. so at some point you'll get your equipment check too. So I'm gonna go over that a little bit. Everybody has to wear a singlet. You should know that. If not, there will be singlets for purchase. I think Quest Athletics will have them for sale at the event if you need one. But everything that you're going to wear on the platform has to be inspected by the referees prior to the meet. So when you're waiting to get weighed in, or after you get weighed in, from that, you got the hour-and-a-half window. The morning session is 7 a.m. to 8:30. The afternoon session is 12:30 to 2. That's your window to get your equipment checked. Actually, I believe the morning one, we are going to start equipment check a little bit early, just probably about 6:45, just to get people kind of going through there. But anyway, you got basically that hour-and-a-half window. So take your equipment, your shoes, your belt. Guys, make sure, this is a funny, you have to wear basically tighty whities. You can't wear anything that has legs. So no boxer briefs, no boxers, anything like that. It has to be a brief type underwear, which is kind of old school for some people. Some of you guys probably wear that as it is. Anyway, moving on. You also, everybody that's deadlifting has to have knee-high socks. So the socks have to come up to your knees. You're allowed wrist wraps and knee sleeves, neoprene knee sleeves. All right. I got a little video for some of the rules, a little demonstration, but one thing I want to stress, if you're going to be breaking an American record, you must bring a copy of your birth certificate. I have to put all the paperwork together and send it in. Ultimately, it's your responsibility, but to help you out, I'll do all that if you bring it. If not, it's all on you. So definitely bring your copy of your birth certificate if you're going to be setting an American record. If you're going to, after just to go over, I guess, the order a little bit, the lifting will be broken down into flights within each session. So there's the morning session, which starts at 9 a.m., weigh-ins start at 7. You'll be grouped either flight A, B, C, or D. How that works for you new lifters is flight A you'll be grouped into a group of between 6 and 15 people. So how it works is flight A will do all of their squats, squat 1, squat 2, squat 3, and then immediately after that, flight B will do all of theirs. So just because you're in the morning session doesn't mean you're going to be the very first group lifting. You'll be coming up quick, so be ready to warm up when they start, but just pay attention to that. You've already been assigned your flight based on your weight class. So look at that and make sure you know where you're going to be, because like I said, the meet's once it starts, it's going to not stop. So know your position. I mean, any of the referees you can ask, they'll help you out, but just try to make yourself knowledgeable ahead of time if you can. Once you complete your first lift, you need to immediately go over to the scoring table and turn in your second attempt. This is important. You have 1 minute to do that. If you're after that minute, then if it's a successful lift, we'll go up 2.5 kilos. If you miss the lift, we will put in the same weight. So make sure you get to the table within that 1 minute time limit to turn in your attempt. If you're going to be breaking a state or American record, we're going to do something new this time just to make us stay a little bit more organized. We will have these at the scoring table. You must fill one of these out if you're breaking a state or American record. If this is not filled out, you will not get credit for it. Again, it's when you turn in your attempt. If that attempt is a state record or an American record, you must fill out this piece of paper and give it to the expediter, which is the person beside the scoring computer taking your attempt. This is going to be our record to make sure that we get the correct officials in the chair for American records, and also to make sure that your state record keeper gets notification that you broke a state record, because otherwise those things are easily able to fall through the cracks. So to make it easier on my staff, it's your responsibility. If it doesn't get filled out, you don't get credit. Pretty simple. Aside from that, we're going to go through the rules of the lifts a little bit. I mean, this is the most common stuff that is messed up, so it just gives you an idea. You know, obviously we're not going through every detail, every rule. That's your responsibility to look at the rule book. This is just to give you a little bit of understanding what it's going to look like. So go ahead and watch the rest of this. We'll start with the squat right here. Okay, what we look for in the depth of the squat, go ahead, is for the crease of the hip to be below the top of the knee. Come up above, right there. Now this would not be considered a good lift because the crease of the hip is above the knee. So like I said, this line of sight right here is what has to be below. That's a good lift. All right. Bars loaded. Squat. Rack. All right, there's four main things you need to know in the bench press. First one is the thumb must be around the bar. You cannot have a false grip. The second, your head must remain in contact with the bench during your whole lift, and your butt must remain in contact with the bench as well. Also, your feet, they must remain flat. They cannot be up on your toes or on the side. Bars loaded. Start. Press. Rack.
Bars loaded. Down.
All right, so that's our little rules briefing video. You know, again, this will kind of take place of the rules briefing that we normally do at the beginning of meets. So hopefully, if you have any questions, you know, from this video or things like that, go ahead and ask them now. Shoot me an email. My email is strongerisbetter@yahoo.com. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to be busy setting up the event and things like that, but I'll try to answer your questions. A few other things I want to mention. All of the awards are going to be done at the end of the day. So if you lift in the morning session, your awards won't be until the afternoon session is completed because the timing of the two platforms, we don't want to have one platform waiting on the other platform to do awards and things like that. So we're going to wait till the very end. So if you do lift in the morning and you have not been notified that you're getting drug tested, you should have a few hours to kind of go check out Norcross or you know, stay and watch some awesome lifting. So it's up to you what you want to do with that time, but you know, we would encourage you to stay and watch some lifting. Support the Meadow Creek wrestling team. They're going to be doing concessions and stuff too, so there'll be food available. They're also going to be doing a raffle. I believe it's a 50-50, but I'm not sure. So you know, buy some raffle tickets and help support them. But back to the awards. The awards ceremony will start as soon as lifting's over. I'm anticipating around 7 p.m. So make sure you're back by 7, I would say at the latest, to make sure that you're there for the award ceremony. We're going to have individual awards, team awards, and also the specialized awards, which are the, you know, your lifter of the year and volunteer of the year. It should be good. The after party, Dave and Buster's, which is like a mile away, they have signed on to be our official after party. A lot of you have already RSVP'd, and I told you guys originally that everybody's kind of on their own in terms of, you know, you wait for your reservation, or you wait for your table, just like a normal restaurant. We had such a big turnout of people turning such a big turnout, I'm losing my train of thought, such a big turnout of people that RSVP'd that they actually gave us our own room. So what we're going to do with that is put a slideshow of a lot of the pictures that were taken from our photographer and let that play while we're eating and stuff like that. So Everybody's ticket is on their own, but we will be in a big room, just with us lifters and friends and family of lifters. So if you haven't RSVP'd, please do that. Just go back to the website, the meet website where you registered, and there should be a link to RSVP. So again, I'm excited. I'm really excited that there's this many lifters. I don't know if you guys know or not because you're in the meet, but there is a waiting list of about 70 people that didn't get in. So everybody that did get in this year made it, I guess, luckily. So congratulations. We're going to do the best we can to put on a top-notch event. And if anybody has any questions, like I said, shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to answer your questions and get you ready to roll. So we'll see you guys on Saturday.